live from the Corolla Field Complex in Buna. It is time for one of the most prestigious games of the entire baseball season at any level. It's the sectional final between the Audubon Green Wave and the Buna Chiefs, live on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Apologies that we just got the live stream up now. I wasn't expecting Buna to take the field so early, but at the same time we did have to drive 40 minutes to get down here. So this is going to be a war of attrition between two of the top pitchers in South Jersey, a fifth-year senior in Joey Kurtz and Scott Lynch, who is currently grabbing a helmet, and he is going to bat here in the first inning. But Buna taking the field with my graphics crew, Gavin Vanrell and Caleb Lane, my producer, Donna Wilkins, and myself, Dan Wilkins. Rich Horan taking a seat there along with his assistant coaches. And it is time for sectionals baseball. The winner of today's game will be advanced into the Final Four that will compete for a state title at Veterans Park in Hamilton Township on Monday. But Joey Kurtz getting the start here for Buna. Let's go over to starting lineups here, as Rich Horan's Green Wave is going to have Tyler Wiltsey leading off at shortstop. It's Ryan Zimmer behind the plate batting second. Scott Lynch is the first baseman, the pitcher, batting third. Charlie Grady's the left fielder batting cleanup. Trent Bannell's in right batting fifth. Jack Dempsey is the second baseman batting sixth. Nick Caladros is the third baseman batting seventh. Joey Slavin is the first baseman batting eighth, and Bryce Dempsey is the DH batting ninth. And for the Buna Chiefs this afternoon, as coached by Tom Carney, it's going to be Trey Carano at shortstop batting leadoff. Riley Betts behind the plate. Cole Shover at second base batting third. It's Zach Strauss in left field. Aiden Carano in right. Charlie Saglabemi in center. It's Allen Adkins, the DH. Brendan Strauss, the third baseman. And Austin Wocock, the first baseman. Sectional finals are underway with a ball inside to Tyler Wiltsey. The 19-year-old Joey Kurtz committed to Goldie Beacom University. That one is high, 2-0. If you're just joining us, we are only 2 pitches in here as the Green Wave clapping it up in the first base dugout, 2-0. High and inside, 3-0. A good start here. Wiltsey with the 3-0. There's a strike right down the middle. That's ball 4. And Tyler Wiltsey leads off the sectionals with a walk. Here's Ryan Zimmer. The wind really kicking in here. There's the ball, 1-1. Going down to second, Wiltsey is safe on a stolen base. Zimmer dealing with a runner on second. Nobody out. And the pitch. Outside. Zimmer now dealing with a rather favorable count. A swing and a foul. Back behind home. Count should be full here. Yeah, the wind is blowing like crazy out here. We've got crazy headwind out to left. But Zimmer facing Kurtz, the pitch, ground ball, past the right side, base hit. Wiltsey's rounding third, he's coming for home. The throw is wide, it bounces off the fence. Zimmer gets to second, and we start off the sectional final with a bang. 1-0 Audubon. As a base hit through the right side that advanced into a two-bagger for Zimmer will already solicit a mound visit from Buna's pitching coach. Kurtz facing Scott Lynch here. Runner on second for the Green Wave. They lead 1-0 here in the first. South Jersey Group 1 sectional final. Kurtz delivers. Lynch pokes one out towards left center field. That one is going to be caught out in center, and there's one away. So Lynch is retired. Now here's Charlie Grady. Hitting cleanup here. Strike one. Grounder out towards third, and it's foul. There's a strike, and Grady is down on the punch out. There's 2 outs. Here's Trent Bennell, the right fielder. Batting 5th in the order here for the Green Wave. Jack Dempsey on deck in a 1-0 lead for the Green Wave as they got on the board early, which was what they were talking about this morning. They were saying you have to attack them early, and Joey Kurtz, who had a 1-hit shutout versus Audubon in the first round of the Diamond Classic, got themselves a 5-0 win, but a 5-3 ground out is 3 straight outs, and the side is retired, but not without a good effort as the Green Wave drive home their first run. Buna will bat here in the bottom of the first after this. Scott Lynch is on the hill here for the Green Wave this afternoon in the Group 1 sectional final for South Jersey. He's having a great senior season, a great swan song with a 1.22 ERA, 63 strikeouts in 46 innings, 24 walks allowed. And the entirety of the playoffs, he has been lights out, and also he's been one of two pitchers to start. It's either been him or Gabe McCracken who has been on the hill and in control for the Green Wave in these 4 playoff games that they've played. As there's a foul ball off the bat of Trey Carano, and the bottom of the first is underway with an 0-1 count. Carano lifts one out towards straightaway center. Copsetta is there, and he makes the catch. 1 down. This will bring up Riley Betts. I mean, this game is already miles different than how it was in the first weekend of May for the first round of the Diamond Classic. You know, Buena won that game 5-0, and obviously with it being the day after prom and they weren't expecting to have a game, it really didn't help. You know, it was a matter of everybody had gone out the night before and, you know, had their best time at prom, and then they had to wake up early the next morning and go all the way down to Buena. So they weren't ready. But now they are ready. The energy is here, the energy is high, and a line drive foul off the bat of Betts. That was a screamer, for sure. Upstairs to Betts. Betts is going to take high. This is going to make it a 3-2 count. Carano lines one out towards left, and that's going to fall for a base hit. So Carano gets the offense rolling for, Betts gets the offense rolling for Buena. And now hitter number 3 is going to come up here as Buna's got a runner on first and 1 out. So here is Cole Shover. Zach Strauss on deck for the Chiefs as that curveball lands far from its intended destination. It's 1-0. Inside. No, they did call it a strike. Excuse me. 1-1. Swinging a foul tip. By the way, folks, since we are in Buena, cell service isn't exactly 100%, so if there are hiccups during the broadcast in our frames, we apologize. There's really nothing we can do about it, considering that we're in Buena. I think we have like 2 bars max, but here's a ground ball out to Caladros at third. Throw across is in time. 2 down. This will bring up Zach Strauss, the left fielder. Cleanup hitter here for Buena. By the way, the defensive lineup for the Green Wave this afternoon, you've got Lynch on the mound, Zimmer behind the plate. In the infield from first to third is Slavin at first, Dempsey at second, Wiltsey at short, and Caladros at third. And then in the outfield from left to right is Brady, Copsetta, and Bantle. Pitch to Shover, grounded foul. It's 0-2. Buna's got a runner on second here. 2 down. Outside, 1-2. Jack Dempsey will be the first to hit for the Green Wave as the number 6 hitter in the top half of the second. High and in. Don't want to lose him here. He went from 0-2 and very quickly it's 2-2. One is hit well, but playable. Buena calls for it, and he dropped the ball. That wind really didn't help. And that's going to put runners on first and second. No, excuse me, that run did score for Buna because there were 2 outs. He was going, so Buna's tied the game 1-1. Runner on first here, 2 down. That'll be an E9 in right. Foul. So Betts came around to score. I thought the fly ball was going to Capseta. He looked like he was looking for it, and then Buena had it, and then it wasn't like he completely missed it. It just popped right in and out of his glove. Runner goes, throw to second is in time. He got him. Wiltsey throws out Strauss at second, but Buna does tie the game at 1 after 1. We go to the second and we'll go to break. Chiefs and Green Wave knotted up at 1 apiece. Top of the second, Green Wave and Chiefs tied up at 1 after 1. Jack Dempsey will lead it off for the Green Wave. Facing Joey Kurtz, again, one of the top pitchers in South Jersey, committed to Goldie Beacom University, a D2 school. And of course, Scott is committed to Sacred Heart to play football, though, not baseball, though he would make a darn good baseball player. Here's a ground ball by Carano, picked up, and Dempsey is retired, and there's 1 away. 6-3 ground out. Caladros now. 7-hitter here for Audubon. There's a strike right down Broadway, 0-1. Foul back, 0-2. By the way, the defense for the Buna Chiefs is going to be obviously Kurtz on the mound, Betts behind the plate, and in the infield is Wocock at first, Kolshover at second, at third is Brandon Strauss, and at short is Trey Carano, and then in the outfield from left to right is Zach Strauss in left, Charlie Saglabemi in center, and Aiden Carano in right. 1-2 to Caladros. There's a swing and a miss. And there's 2 down, as now the lefty Joey Slavin will hit. Joey Slavin is notoriously good for hitting well against very good pitchers. And, you know, he had one of the lone hits in the first couple of innings versus Shawnee and Jackson Logar. I mean, Logar was lights out, and Slavin was the only man in the Green Waves repertoire who really made contact. Here's a ground ball to Carano, throw to first, is in time. And a 1-2-3 second inning sets Audubon down in order. After 1.5, it is 1-1, Audubon and Buna. Here in the bottom of the second, Buna got one back after an E9 in right in the bottom of the first. This broadcast is brought to you in part by DJK Roofing, South Jersey's #1 roofing supplier with over 200 5-star reviews on the web. Get a free quote today by calling 856-778-3900. Again, that's 856-778-3900. There's Charlie Saglabemi. Excuse me, it's Aiden Carano. Saglabemi's on deck, but considering that Strauss was thrown out at second base attempting to steal, then Carano will resume his at-bat with the count reset. Should be 2-0. Carano, Saglabemi, and then Alan Adkins, the DH. There's a strike. Again, the scoreboard is out of our view because we're technically behind it, so can't really see balls and strikes, but there's a line drive in the left base hit for Aiden Carano, who makes up for his at-bat, which was cut short. Now Saglabemi will bat. Ball one. Runner on first for Buna after the base hit. Bring up Saglabemi, the center fielder. That one is hot. Liner, base hit. Falls in front of Copsetta, and that's going to put 2 on to lead off the second for Buna. Now here is Alan Adkins. Zimmer giving some commands to his outfielders and infielders. But with 2 on and nobody out, you got to imagine they're trying to play some double play ball, you know, kind of strategies where can't really let anything fly, as that one almost flew in the center field. Lynch tried to pick off the runner at second, which I'd say out of all the pickoff moves you can attempt, that's the least common one, maybe except for third. But, you know, throwing behind you requires a lot quicker of an action. But Adkins is showing bunt, and he's going to ground one up the first base line and foul. Looks like Slavin was going to pick it up and record the out, but the umpire waved him off. Here we go. 0-1 to Adkins, who's going to show bunt again. Slavin halfway up, and Lynch almost airmailed shortstop again. And that's my gripe with that. I mean, you gotta, with 2 on and nobody out, your main focus should be trying to get the batter out, and, you know, maybe by pure luck he'll ground into a double play, but that one is going to go foul, so at least it'll play in his favor somewhat, and it's 1-2. I just think that, you know, Lynch, I don't think he should really be getting that risky with pickoff moves. I mean, we saw what happened in the Diamond Classic, you know, between these two teams. Both defenses combined for over 9 errors in the ballgame. That one's outside 2-2. Adkins seemingly abandoning the bunt strategy with 2 strikes. Really don't want to get too deep into that. I've seen hitters, you know, bunt out on strike 3 before, and I'm like, every single time I'm like, well, what do you think? You can move the runners over in so many different ways, but it's now 3-2, so Lynch is going to have to work out of another jam. Again, Audubon scored quickly in the top half of the first inning, took just 2 batters to get a run, and then Buna clapped back with just the same efficiency. And a ground ball out to short. Wiltsey tags the bag for 1, and he's got a double play, a 6-3 2-roller double play. And talk about getting the job done. I mean, you didn't really have to worry about the bunt, but now Buna's go-ahead run is on third. So 2 outs very quickly, and Brandon Strauss is now the hitter for the Chiefs. Foul over towards the first base side, and it's 1-0. Don't forget, folks, tomorrow we will be in Brooklawn at the Joe Barth Field covering the non-public B South Jersey sectional final between 2 of the top teams in the state, the Ranny Panthers and the Gloucester Catholic Rams. Start time is 1 p.m. Hope you can make it on Dan Wilkins' broadcast. Pitch. That one skips away and coming to the plate, and Buna's going to take the lead on a wild pitch. 2-1. That is probably the one outcome that you did not want. I mean, he cleared the bases on the double play, and then the one man left over ends up scoring. So could have been a lot worse, though. I mean, Audubon showed in the first inning they could score off of Kurtz. But what they've got to do on the offensive side of the ball is work the count. They've been I mean, that top of the second inning was lightning quick. 2-2. We'll try this again to Strauss. That one is a grounder foul over towards the on-deck circle, where Austin Wocock is waiting. But yeah, it's a deal of you want to get the opposing pitcher's pitch count up. You know, the more you work them, it's not like they can leave them in there forever. There's state-mandated limits. You saw what happened with Ridge. It knocked them completely out of the tournament for Group 4 in the North Jersey sector. But a punch out there by Scott Lynch retires the side. But after turning a crucial double play, Buna gets a run on a wild pitch. We go to the top of the third, 2-1 Chiefs. Top of the third, Buna leads 2-1 over the Green Wave. Bryce Dempsey leading it off for Audubon at the bookends of the order. 9, 1, and 2. Due up for Audubon, as that one is a first pitch high and inside. Dempsey, Wiltsey, and Zimmer. There's a strike. I mean, I said before that I think it was crucial that if Audubon is going to hit off of Joey Kurtz, the top of the order needs to have exceptional production. And that one is another strike. Incredible movement there from Kurtz. 1 and 2. Outside. The wind may be bad, and I've got a cooling towel on my head, but it is absolutely a scorcher this afternoon. That one is a ball. 90 degrees here in Buna this afternoon, with winds blowing south to the southeast at 6 miles per hour, which is the equivalent of blowing out to left field. The real feel is 91 as Dempsey walks. That's what you like to see. If you're Audubon, you want to see getting the ball started early. Audubon has never really been that incredible in 2-out rallies. I mean, they've done it before, but they don't do it consistently. And especially off of a guy like Kurtz, you want to get in his head early, and you know, you kind of want to drive the point home before anybody else can get to it. So Wiltsey swings and misses. He walked in his first at-bat, came around to score on the RBI single. Liner, and it is caught by the third base coach. Kind of stumbled over my words there. I couldn't figure out if it was a Buna player or a coach, but it was a man in a hoodie over there. There's a ground ball. Wiltsey. Carano is going to boot the ball. He booted it twice, and that is going to be an E6. Putting 2 runners on, and that's exactly what you have to take advantage of. If Buna makes the same mistakes that they made in the Diamond Classic, and if Audubon doesn't replicate them, then we have a lot closer of a ball game than we had on May 6th. But Zimmer's going to bat here with 2 on and nobody out, as a similar situation in the top of the first gave Audubon its first run. Zimmer's bunting out to first, and it is caught by Wocock. 1 down, a 1-3, but it does move the runners up. Zimmer was talking about that before he left for the bus. He said if there's a situation like the one that just happened, then He said he was going to bunt, and Zimmer doesn't bunt a whole lot, you know? He's not the kind of guy that does that all the time, but when he did it to perfection, and he did exactly what was asked of him, and he delivered. So he got the sac bunt down, and now Lynch, who did fly out to left his first time, is going to try to drive in some runs. A pop-up down the third baseline and foul. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Lynch down 0-2. Lynch flies one out towards right center. It's hit well, and it is down. It's going to skip off the wall. Picked up by Saglabemi, and Dempsey and Wiltsey score, and the Green Wave take a 3-2 lead. Lynch did exactly what he does best. He drove the ball into the gap, and it's an RBI double for Scott Lynch. He is the only runner that stands, but he will be taken out here for a courtesy runner with the situation at hand, and he'll be replaced by another senior, Zach Beebe, here at second base. So Charlie Grady's going to bat here as the Green Wave are up 3-2. The umpire took off his mask, and he appeared to say something, but I'm not sure what he said. Could have been a disciplinary warning if needed for maybe dugouts were chirping too much. There's a ground ball. That's going to get through into center field. Beebe's coming around third. The throw is way high, and Grady strolls in the second base. It's 4-2. Still early, but Audubon is looking darn good right now. And Trent Bannell will now bat. So Beebe is replaced by Grady at second base. Beebe scored on that RBI. And the Green Wave simply viewed first base as optional. They have been advancing the ball in astronomical ways. Strike one to Bannell, 0-1. He grounded out to end the first inning, his first time. No out still. Breaking ball and called a strike. A little questionable, but from my angle, it's very hard to tell. So Audubon clapping it up. And a late swing and a miss. Kurtz retires Bannell. Third K for Joey Kurtz, and this will bring up Jack Dempsey. He is the seventh man to bat for the Green Wave. As he led off the first, led off the second inning with a ground out. Dempsey lofts one out to left center. And under it to make the catch. Inning over. We go to the bottom of the third, 4-2 Audubon. Audubon leads 4-2 over the Buna Chiefs in the South Jersey Group 1 sectional final. The winner of today's game will be Veterans Park bound for the semifinals, which will be on Monday, June 5th, and then Saturday, June 10th for the finals. All coverage will be provided by NJ.com and the NJSIAA. That'll be fouled back. So I don't think we will be there, but if anything changes, follow our Twitter account at DW Broadcasting for more information on where we'll be at any given time, including that Saturday game, Ranney and Gloucester Catholic, one of the best games in the state slated for Saturday, and we just happen to have perfect timing to stream it. Obviously, some of the Audubon softball fans may wonder where is the Audubon Clayton game, but unfortunately because of the SATs, which are from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. that Saturday, and the game in Clayton starts at 11, I can't do the game. So sincere apologies to our softball crew, but best of luck to them versus Clayton tomorrow morning. So that one's up and in to Austin Wocock, who leads off the third here. Swing and a miss. Trey Carano coming up now with the leadoff man. Lynch with his second strikeout. 65th of his senior year and 85 total. Fly ball, right field. Bannell going back. He is not going to get there. He crashed up against the fence. Carano rounding second. He's headed for third. He will get in there standing up. The ball skipped from Wiltsey. And it is now going to be a runner on third. As Riley Betts will bat here after the triple, the three-bagger by Carano. Betts singled and scored his first time. The senior takes a strike on a breaking ball, 0-1. He's batting .411 in 2023. 3 homers, 37 for 90, .656 average. 14 walks, 10 stolen bases, which is impressive for a catcher. There's a ground ball, back up the middle, and a base hit. Buna's going to get another run, and it's 4-3. RBI single, Riley Betts, and Buna is within 1 again. I got to say, a high offense game. I mean, bottom of the third, and it seems like almost every inning there's been a run scored of some sort. Not like astronomically crazy, like, you know, like our Timber Creek Audubon game where it was 11-10, or I'm trying to think of another example, Collingswood and Audubon from last year down in Knight Park, one of the first games that we did, that was 14-12 in favor of the Green Wave. But a 1-0 count to Cole Shover. He grounded out his first time. Throw to first, nothing going on. Shover, a senior, batting .333, 26 for 78, 4 extra base hits, 14 walks, and a .385 slugging percentage. Had a 3 RBI game earlier this year in a 14-11 win versus St. Joe's of Hamilton. But Buena this year, 25-3 compared to Audubon's 20-7. But what makes Buna's record even more impressive is that they started off the year 14-0. Cape Atlantic League rules require that divisional matchups must be back-to-back. So they started off the year with decisive wins over Atlantic City, and then they beat GCIT, which is a larger school. They played another Colonial team in Collingswood, beat them by 3, beat Middle Township, Holy Spirit, Haddon Heights, Cape May Tech, Salem, Overbrook, and ACIT. Their first loss was to Absegami on May 1st. They went the entire month of April undefeated. But that's what's impressive about all of this, as here's a ground ball foul. Their 3 losses this year are versus Absegami, Cherry Hill West in the Diamond Classic quarterfinals, and Vineland in the Cape Atlantic League Championship. Now, Cherry Hill West beat them 7-1, and Vineland beat them 11-3. But you have to consider something real quick. Vineland and Cherry Hill West are Group 4 schools. Group 4 versus Group 1, 90% of the time, does not bode well. But should be a full count here to Shover. But that's the thing, is that if you were to take out their losses that were versus Group 4 schools, they would be 23-1. And there's a swing and a miss. And that is almost quite literally insane. Shover strikes out, 3rd K for Lynch, and this brings up Zach Strauss. Excuse me, this is Cole Shover. Riley Betts was at the plate previously. Oh, that one's gonna get away on the pickoff throw and go into second base. Will be Betts. Excuse me, I messed up on my mess-up correction. So, yes, I was right the first time. Strauss is at the plate. Shover struck out. Betts had the RBI single, and Carano, after a leadoff strikeout by Wocock, had a 1-out triple. But right now, 4-3 in favor of Audubon. Here's a ground ball out towards second base, and the throw to first is in time by plenty, and the inning is over. We go to the 4th, 4-3 Audubon. Here we go, top of the 4th inning. Today's question is, what was the first year, by the way, it's DWB trivia time for our new viewers. Today's question is, what was the first year that the Phillies ditched their powder blue and maroon uniforms and instead opted for the classic red and white pinstripes that we know today? Is it 1992, 2006, 1987, or 2013? The answer will be revealed in the bottom of the 4th inning with a pop-up foul to start the 4th here off the bat of Caladros. 7, 8, and 9. The bottom third of the order here due up for the green wave. It's 4-3. Audubon leads Buna here in the Group 1 sectional final here in South Jersey. Popped up foul. 1-2. Liner rather out to short, and Carano makes the catch. Had a deceiving angle, and in fact the out is made rather easily, and there is one away. So here's Joey Slavin, the first baseman. Another foul. There's a strike 3. And Kurtz with another strikeout, 2 away. He's got 4 this afternoon, 1 in each inning. And Bryce Dempsey is going to bat here to round out the order. He led off the third with a walk in an inning that saw 7 men come to the plate here for Audubon. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. Oh-2. Kurtz looking for a shutdown inning here to try to hold the deficit to just 1 outside. Good save there by Betts, but it was a moot point considering that nobody's on. By the way, for who Audubon would face, or if Buna would face, depending on who wins, the Central Jersey final is Point Pleasant Beach versus Middlesex. We'll pick that up at the bottom of the 4th inning as Buna gets out of the jam with back-to-back strikeouts from Joey Kurtz. 1, 2, 3 goes the bottom of the order. It's 4-3 Audubon after 3.5. Bottom of the 4th inning, it's time for DWB Trivia Time. Today's question is, what was the first year that the Phillies ditched their maroon and powder blue uniforms and instead opted for the red and white pinstripes that we know today? Is the answer 1992, 2006, 1987, or 2013? Producer Donna Wilkins, what's your answer?
A, 1992.
You would be correct. That is the first year that they ditched those uniforms, and they still honor them today on Thursdays with the powder blues, although that was a foul ball, by the way, to start the inning. It's 0-1.
I got to pet a horse, and I got the trivia right today.
There you go.
Stellar day.
There is a horse pasture behind us, but the horses, they were out here at pregame. We were petting them, and now they've gone back to the barn, but no one's outside. But yeah, the Phillies, ironically enough, they honored the powder blues, but you probably remember this from when you watched baseball. The powder blues were the road jerseys, not the home jerseys.
Right.
And they wear those powder blues at home. The Cardinals do the same thing. They used to have powder blues on the road, and then they switched them to an alternate home jersey back in the 2000s after they won their first World Series title in 2006. Strauss fouls it back. It'll be Strauss, Aiden Carano, and Charlie Saglabemi. The 3 outfielders, each in succession. And a 2-strike count. And the pitch from Lynch. Up and in. Close call. Should be a full count here to Strauss. 4, 5, and 6, and a line drive, base hit to left. Both teams just teeing off on their pitchers, and Scott Lynch surrenders another hit. So here is Carano with a runner on first and nobody out for the Chiefs. Buna with 4 runs on 4 hits. They've had 3 singles and that triple back in the 3rd with 1 out off the bat of Trey Carano. Throw over to first, almost wide, but Slavin hangs onto it. I mean, you've already shot yourself in the foot once with that, overthrow that advanced the runner. I wouldn't worry about pickoffs right now, honestly.
Not at first, no.
Not at first base, no. I would...
He needs to concentrate on the batter.
I mean, right now, his problem is that he can't locate. He is having a lot of problems keeping the ball in the strike zone. And he was doing fine to start, but neither pitcher seems to have an exact grip on the ball that can work. Kurtz, he gave up 4 runs, but now he's back in his groove. He's got his swagger back. But the problem is that if Audubon can't reciprocate that, and if Lynch can't get back into a groove, then it's just going to make, the pedestal imbalanced, and it creates a bad situation. So you really never want to see that. And then he picked off the first again, like he's actively going against my words. But
well, you're not the coach.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be the I wouldn't want to be the coach. Even Brady's not, satisfied with it. Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of this team. They want themselves to succeed, but everybody on the team's got to have a, almost like they're equal 2 cents. So. Here we go again. The pitch from Lynch. It's ball 4. Worked the count well, had a couple of foul balls, but that puts 2 on for Buna, bringing up Charlie Saglabemi. Wade Geis, the pitching coach, coming out here to talk to Lynch. Had a couple of troubles today in terms of being able to locate and being able to hit the strike zone, but whether or not he continues much further, obviously, I mean, this is just a conference on the mound going over, what you need to do and, how you need to attack these next couple of hitters for Buna. But I think the thing is with Lynch is I think that he's, and I'm not, I'm not like a psychologist or anything, but there's nothing mechanical that looks off about him. So who knows? Seems like the hitters are just overpowering on both sides of the ball, and in that kind of situation, it's hard to control. It's hard to level, and that's why we've got a 4-3 game compared to the Diamond Classic game that we covered versus these same 2 teams earlier in last month on the 6th of May. That was a 5-0 game. Buna got 4 runs in the first and then 1 in the second, and then nobody scored for the rest of the game. So after the throw over to first, Lynch looks to attack versus Saglabemi. He's going to bunt. It'll go back to the mound. Lynch fires to the closest runner at third, and he is safe. The dugout with their head in their hands, they couldn't believe that they didn't get the call. That's a tough one right there. I don't know if I got that on my view, but it's I wasn't expecting him to throw it to third, but the bases are loaded. Bases are loaded. Nobody out. Similar situation to what Audubon had in the top half of the third, but it looked like he might have been out, but there's no replay in high school baseball, so a lot of the Audubon players not happy with the call, but you gotta forgive and forget in this kind of situation. So here is Alan Adkins, the DH. He lined into a double play his first time. So 0-2. Lynch delivers, and a ground ball in fair territory, and it's going to go to Wiltsey, and there's not going to be a play. Tie game. Buna is able to level up the score at 4-4 on an infield single that just didn't go anywhere. Nobody out, and the first 4 consecutively have reached for the Chiefs as they look to swing the boat the other way and get the momentum rallied on their side. A swing and a miss by Brandon Strauss. Makes it 0-1. So Zach Strauss scored on that RBI infield single, and a breaking ball by Lynch makes it 0-2 very quickly. After this would be Austin Wilcott. High and away. 1-2. We'll try this again. Bases loaded, nobody out. Buna on a hot run. And that is outside. 2-2. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Crowley's Printing and Bantle's Banner Signs and Apparel. The true one-stop shop for all your print and promotional needs with a 5-star Google rating. 2-2 is going to be inside, coming to the plate, and on a wild pitch, Buna leads 5-4. A back-and-forth game continues to spiral into a roller coaster-like fashion as Lynch had a fastball that just slipped right out of his hands, went straight behind the batter, and it's a 2-2 count, putting runners on second and third in a 5-4 Buna lead. We get a foul. By the way, that was a foul tip strikeout, so Strauss is retired. Well, now Ryan Knoll is going to come out and he will relieve Scott Lynch from the game. Coming in now, we'll see who they opt with. I think Charlie Grady is going to come in because he's being swapped out in left. Zach Beebe is going to be moving out there, and we are going to have a Crowley's Printing pitching change. I find it ironic. We were in the middle of their sponsor read, so this broadcast is brought to you in part by Crowley's Printing and Bantle's Banners, Signs, and Apparel, the true one-stop shop for all your print and promotional needs with a 5-star Google rating. Over 50 years in business handling any ink-on-paper projects, as well as banners, signs, apparel, and promotional swag. Charlie Grady, the new pitcher, and a Crowley's Printing pitching change here for the Green Wave. Scott Lynch is relieved in a 5-4 Buna lead. We'll be right back after this. Charlie Grady is into the ball game as Buna has retaken the lead. It's 5-4 in the bottom of the fourth. As the Green Wave allowed the go-ahead run on a wild pitch by Lynch, which ended up being the last batter that he faced. He eventually struck him out, but kind of too little too late. The 0-1 grounded out to third. It's foul past Caladros. Quickly 0-2. Trey Carano. We'll try it again. Grady. Oh, here's a high fly out towards left. Back goes Beebe. It is dropped. It's gonna one hop. Scoring is one. And it's gonna be an RBI double. Off the bat of Carano, it is 6-4. He might have lost it in the sun out there. He really might have. I mean, that's... That's the second outfield blunder we've made today. Excuse me, 2 runs did score on that play, so it should be 7. And a fly ball to right on the first pitch. Bana is there. Everybody is going to tag. And it is 8-4. So Buna has jumped out here in the fourth. Runner on third here for Buna. Outside. So here's Cole Shover, the 9th man to hit here for Buna. Well, that's a cricket pitch. It's going to go back to the backstop, and Buna's got another run. Carano scores. Here's a ground ball out to Wiltsey. Picked up, throw to first, is in time, and the inning is over. Buna gets a couple more runs, and they extend the lead on some bad defense by Audubon. We go to the 5th. It'll be 8-4 Buna. 9-4, excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Here in the top of the 5th inning, Wiltsey is going to start it off with a line drive foul. Oh, on the Wiltsey, 1, 2, and 3. Leading off for Audubon. Outside, 1 and 1. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for Buna in the bottom half of the fifth. That one misses. We'll see skies one, but foul. 2 strike count now. Versus Joey Kurtz here.
I got him. He's tied around my chair now.
Try it again after the foul. And Wiltsey is going to have a stopped play at second and an incredible dive for the first out. So Cole Shover with an incredible diving play to his left. As it'll now be Ryan Zimmer. Outside. Should be 2-0. There's a strike, 2 and 1. Yeah, 2-1 here to Zimmer. Zimmer and then Lynch. There's a strike, 2 and 2. There's a swing and a miss. Zimmer down on strikes, and Kurtz with another strikeout, 2 away. Here's Scott Lynch. Lynch had a RBI double back in the third as he fouls one back. Batting .432 in his senior year, 38 for 88, 2 homers. Both were in a game versus West Deptford, where the ball was really carrying. It was 12-11 in favor of the Eagles, but he had 2 homers, 6 RBIs that night. He got 14 walks, 29 RBIs, and a .614, very impressive .614 slugging percentage. That one missed. I was surprised. That looked like that was in to me, but take the little victories in this game. That one is outside. I mean, obviously, Audubon has been in such, I wouldn't say cruise control, but they've been putting their pedal on the metal for these past 3 games, and obviously just the tone has changed. Not to say that, you know, in the first couple of innings, they put home 4 runs and made it work, but then Buna just struck back with, seems like the force of something like Thor's hammer, just really punched him out. That one misses. Should be a full count here. Lynch working it all the way to the bitter end with 2 outs, nobody on. 2 quick outs made by Kurtz, and he holds off, shows some resistance, and successfully so, as he draws a 2-out walk for Charlie Grady. So runner on first for Audubon and 2 outs. Charlie Grady, the batter here. Grounded foul, 0-1. 4.02 average for the senior, who's committed to Camden County College to play baseball for John Scanzano's Cougars next year. He's 35 for 87, 9 extra base hits, 20 RBIs, and again 4.02 average. But on the mound, he's got a 2.03 ERA, as he's got to dance away from that one as it's inside. Should be 2-0, or excuse me, 1-1 rather. There's a strike. 1-2. Again, 4, 5, and 6. Starting with Zach Strauss. They're due up for Buna. There's strike 3. Buna gets out of the inning after a 2-out walk. And back-to-back Ks by Joey Kurtz. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 8-4, Buna. Buna leads 8-4 over the Green Wave here in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch fouled off the bat of Zach Strauss.
No, I don't want to bother.
1-1. Went around on the check swing. 1-2. I mean, it's a shame that we didn't go live during the infield outfield, because that would have showed the firepower that Audubon brought to the stage this afternoon as Strauss goes down on strikes. Bringing up Carano. But the thing is that, you know, their infield outfield, they were more hyped than ever before. They just had so much energy running through their veins, and then an 8-4 game happens and, you know, you don't really know what to do with yourself. But it's an 0-1 count to Carano. First strikeout for Charlie Grady as here's a ground ball out towards Wiltsey. Throw to first is in time, right on the money, 2 down. First pitch. Grounder out to Wiltsey on a high chopper, and the throw is in time. Lynch reaches up to bring it down. A quick 3 outs, and Audubon has 6 outs to go before they would go home. But we've still got plenty of time. We'll see what they can do. It is 8-4, Buna.
Sorry. No, he's good. Thank you.
Top of the 6th inning as Audubon looks to strike back with 6 outs to go in this one. Trent Bannell starting off the ceremonies here as that one is up and away, 1-0. It is Bantle, Dempsey, and Caladros slated to hit here in the 6th for the Green Wave, 5, 6, and 7. Grounder, high chopper, just past the Buna dugout. It's 1-1. From Kurtz. Bannell fouls it back, 1-2. Bannell's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. By the way, for the other South Jersey sectional finals, Haddon Heights trails Seneca 5-0. Seneca would be an 8 seed winning the sectional, so that would be quite interesting, but another grounder foul, still 1-2. For the Group 3, Mainland, which again was another underdog, they finished the regular season like 13-8. They have beat Delsey 6-4 to advance. That one is foul. And just in, Eastern has beaten Rancocas Valley 2-0 to win the South Jersey Group 4 sectional final. So a lot of great teams going to Veterans Park on Monday. That one is outside, 2-2. That one is high, 3-2. That last ball before this one, Buna fans didn't seem to like that one too much. Seemed a little close, but Kurtz will battle again. This time he lines one and a catch at third. Just running into the worst outs possible. Bannell slams his bat in an act of frustration. And now this is going to bring up Jack Dempsey, as what a play at third by Brandon Strauss. I mean, really, just... You see that a lot of times in the big leagues, usually not in high school. That probably in most cases in high school is a double down the line or something, but that's crazy. 2 down and a 1-0 count to Dempsey. Excuse me, 1 out. Excuse me, 1 out. And a 1-0 count to Dempsey. He pops this one up, shallow center, and it is taken in at second, 2 down. Here is Nick Caladros. But the problem is that this is exactly how Buna wanted to draw it up. You know, you're already up in the game. You want to face the bottom of the order because they haven't gotten a hit off you all game. The only hits that have been recorded by Audubon have been in the top 4 in the order. Wiltsey, Zimmer, Lynch, and Grady. Everything else has either been an offer or, with the exception of Bryce Dempsey, who had a walk. So now here is the pitch to Caladros. That one's going to be upstairs. That's going to be a hit by pitch. So 2 outs and a little bit of life here on the bases as Caladros gets himself aboard. This will bring up Joey Slater. Fouled back. By the way, pinch hitter Zach Beebe up now. Excuse me. So Slavin is out. I thought he was going to move to the DH spot, but I think because of the combination and where Gabe McCracken isn't coming into the game, he can't because of the pitch count limits. So now it's Charlie Grady, but there we go. There's a strike. Runner on first, 2 down. Buna up by 4. Outside. Should be a 2-1 count if I'm correct. 3-1. If BB can do what he does best and keep the bat on his shoulders to walk, that'll give a nice position for Dempsey. But he swings and misses, inning over. Zach Beebe down on strikes, and he worked the count full, took some good pitches, but eventually went down. Buna's up by 4. It's crunch time here at Corolla Field. 8-4 Buna. Buna up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's a first pitch strike from Charlie Grady. It's 0-1. Facing Alan Adkins, Brandon Strauss, and Austin Wocock here for Buna. There's another strike. There's 2. And this is honestly the best situation you can do right here. I mean, Audubon's going to have 9-1-2 batting in the 7th. And if the top 4 in the order have been the best offensive producers, then it only makes logical sense that them batting in the 7th is a plus. That one's a foul ball. Looks like it hit off of Adkins' foot. Still a 1-2 count. Inside, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Adkins down on strikes. 1 down. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Peroli's Printing and Bantles, Banners, Signs, and Apparel, the true one-stop shop for all your print and promotional needs with a 5-star Google rating. If you need graduation, lawn signs and banners, flyers, A-frames, business cards, or envelopes done right, this is the place for you. Strauss swings and misses. 0-1. Again, Strauss and Austin Wocock on deck. A line drive past Caladros in the left, the base hit. Rounding first and heading for second and getting in there on a slide. 1-out double, Brandon Strauss. And we are going to go to Wocock now. One out, 1 on. That runner's in scoring position in an 8-4 game. That one is inside. So Buna's account did confirm it is 8-4. We were confused about that a couple of innings ago, but it seems like that has been put to rest. But that's going to be a wild pitch, putting a runner on third with Strauss. upstairs. That's a strike. Swing and a miss. 2-strike count. Fly ball, right field. Panel is there, tagging from third, and going in to score. And he got him. He was out a couple of steps ahead. Zimmer got the tag down in time. The runner, I guess he must have known it because he did not even slide. So here we go. This is the part where my heart's gonna start the race. It's 3 outs away. Buna leads 8-4. Top of the 7th inning. Austin Wocock in for relief. And 3 outs separate Buna from a trip to Hamilton and Veterans Park on Monday the 5th. And it'll be 9-1-2 facing Wocock here in the 7th. As Buna, after a middle inning surge, got through most of it, and then both offenses kind of died down, and Buna looks to keep the momentum rolling. Again, these guys are incredible. 25-3 under the leadership of Tom Carney, 11-1 in their division, and 2 of their 3 losses were in tournaments versus their Group 4 counterparts. But I don't know what we're waiting on here. What are we waiting on? So the umpire, I think, the umpire is now speaking to the Buna coach. He just spoke with Rich Horan. And they're looking at the lineup card, so I think that maybe they may be going over a lineup discrepancy. Now Horan back out and talking to the home plate umpire. This is a really back and forth conversation. I have no idea what it's about. Again, they were looking at the lineup card, and I don't know what was going on, but I still have no idea what's going on. Dempsey is at the plate. Wocock is on the mound. Dempsey. He's still looking over the lineup card, and I'm wondering what the issue is here, because I mean, we've got a fair number of people watching, and my job is to provide a fair explanation of what's going on. But out here in left field, I am oblivious to what is going on. But Haran and the home plate umpire now, who are they calling over? They're going to call over the entire umpiring crew. I still have no idea what's going on, and we came back from break with the pitching change. Austin Wocock is now in the game, and now...
Yeah, they're looking at the lineup card for sure.
Does Buna not have a rostered player, or does Audubon not have a rostered player up there, or... I don't know, but...
He's looking at Buna on the field.
Yeah, because he talked to Haran, and then he spoke with Coach Carney of Buna, and then he spoke with Haran again. But something makes me think this might be an Audubon issue, considering that you know, you've got, I mean, they're standing right next to Audubon's dugout, so.
Yeah, I think that's because the other umpires there, but they're pointing to the pitcher.
I still don't know what the issue is. I mean,
Yeah.
a bit of a sarcastic applause from the Buna fans, but I want to know what in the world's going on. I mean, this is definitely not the time that you want a stalling of the game.
No.
With Audubon down by 4 runs and Buna 3 outs away from a sectional title. But it looks like they will go their separate ways, and Bryce Dempsey will bat, Austin Wocock will pitch, and whatever the discrepancy was, seems like it's been lifted. So Wocock versus Dempsey, Wiltsey, and Zimmer. Wiltsey's got a walk in this one and a strikeout. First pitch, up and in, 1-0. Oh yeah. 2-0. Strike one. This broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center, an independently owned full-service pet store with a specialty in promoting companionship and a pop-up out to First and Foul. Promoting a companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural food, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Visit us today on the 200 block of Whitehorse Pike, open 7 days a week. Visit exoticpetsnj.com. 2-strike count to Dempsey. Did he go? Yes, he did. He got punched out. And Dempsey just got a little too happy with the bat. 1 away. By the way, one more sponsor read. This broadcast is brought to you by Doug Does Anything, your local handyman. Is there strike one? If you need anything done, no matter how big or small, give Doug Does Anything a call. 856-412-0118. Popped up foul. It's 0-2. Ground ball, third base side and foul. Still 0-2. Audubon yet again had another 20-win season. They made it further than last year. This was their deepest run since 2017, when they won the sectional final and lost to Middlesex in the state semifinal. But here we go. That one is up and in. Wocock losing a little bit of control there, and it's 1-2. Swing and a miss, 2 down. Wiltsey is out. The 6'3" senior Wocock with a 1.28 ERA and nearly 50 innings of work. First pitch to Zimmer is a ground ball past first. It's going to be picked up, and it is in time. And the team of destiny has gone to bed. It has been laid to rest as the Buna Chiefs, the #1 seed in South Jersey Group 1, continue their incredible run with an 8-4 win over Audubon, as the Green Wave, with their best run in over 5 years, continue to fall when it matters most. So Buna will be punching their ticket to Veterans Park. And in front of an electric crowd tonight, it was a back and forth game and really a valiant effort on both sides. And Audubon is always going to be known as the little school that could. You know, they always fought. One of my favorite memories that I'll ever have from broadcasting baseball is that Kingsway game in the Ralph Shaw final where Audubon came back from 6-0 down to win 7-6. So yes, this season did not end in a state championship. It did not end in a sectional championship, but it did end with an incredible development of players, an incredible statistical season by guys like Scott Lynch, Ryan Zimmer, an incredible showing by the underclassmen like like Trent Bannell, Nick Caladros, Gabe McCracken did incredible on the hill this year, 25 scoreless innings in a row. And overall, this season was not a failure. Last year, I said some very harsh words towards Audubon because they had lost to Woodstown, which was the #8 seed. And now Buna, for the first time in 8 years, for the first time in 9 years, will look to be state champions again. And this was the best matchup that anybody could have asked for. A 1 seed versus a 2 seed in the sectional final. I know everybody likes underdogs, but the 1 seed versus the 2 seed is the best exemplification and the best showing of the best teams squaring off against each other. And while Buna had the upper hand today, Audubon will always have the upper hand in my mind and in my heart. So thank you to everybody for the Audubon Green Wave and beyond for helping me expand my broadcast career so much here in 2023. It truly has been an honor to serve Audubon baseball for another season, as I'm going to just give some final words here before we sign off one more time. But really, I mean, this season was anything but a failure. A 2 seed getting to the finals, beating each team with ease, and just didn't have it at the end. I am much happier and much prouder of this team than I was last year. And not to say that I wasn't proud of them last year, but a finals loss is a lot less hurtful than a semifinals loss to an 8 seed. So thank you to everyone, whether you're from Audubon, Iowa, anywhere, wherever you've been watching Dan Wilkins broadcasting. We actually, I think, just hit 900 subscribers in the top of the 7th inning. So even if Audubon didn't win today, for myself personally, it ends on at least a little bit of a decent note. But again, just the fact that we've been able to cover so much this year. We've done over 55 broadcasts of baseball. Over 18,000 of you tuned in to watch a Dan Wilkins broadcasting stream. And obviously, the story is not over. Many of these players will return and play baseball for another year. The 3 that won't, at least in Audubon, will be Scott Lynch, Charlie Grady, and Zach Beebe. Beebe and Grady are going over to Camden County College to play baseball, and Scott Lynch is headed over to Sacred Heart University in New York to play football and be a quarterback. So wherever these men end up, and wherever we end up down the line, whether this is the first time you've watched DWB or the last, thank you very much for tuning in to Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We are not done. Tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. for coverage of the South Jersey non-public B final between the Ranny Panthers and the Gloucester Catholic Rams, 2 of the top teams in the state. I'll be there along with my producer Dominic Perry. So, one more time for the Green Wave. From everybody here at Audubon Baseball and Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, with my graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel and Caleb Lane, my producer, Donna Wilkins, and myself, Dan Wilkins, the Buna Chiefs punched their ticket to Veterans Park to compete for a state championship for the first time since 2014 with an 8-4 win over the Audubon Green Wave. We'll see you tomorrow.